Mr. Mizukoshi, welcome to our program.
Thank you for giving me a chance to talk about the Iraqi war.
So first, the war in Iraq was reported to the world by the mass media.
Mm-hmm.
More than 3,600 reporters, photographers, and journalists gathered in the outskirts of Iraq from just before the outbreak of war.
Mm-hmm.
So the mass media reported the war situation in detail and instantly. So what do you think?
Yes, there is a word, technical word like IW. It's
right.
Information war. And so this Iraqi war was already famous about the information technology's influence.
That's right.
And all the things around the war, like the journalism and the military control, on the information technology. So this is often the first time in the history, I think.
Right. But as you mentioned, it's often said that was the information war or the war of information technology.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
So it was the first in the history. But so you can say this is a war. It's a proof of the using of the high technology in the war.
Yeah. Historically speaking, I think that all the media has profoundly related to wars in any historical decades. So for example, the sense of liveness or sense of reality in the war report in this Iraqi war is also a historically relative matter, I think. And for example, the late 19th century, there was a war between U.S. and Spain in the Philippines. And at that time, the U.S. Mass newspaper was very much developed, and as a result, that war developed the technology of paper production and printing technologies. And the other example is that in the World War II, at that time, Mr. Edward Murrow, who was called as the father of American TV broadcasting journalism, was at the top of one house in London and reported the German bombing library via the international shortwave radio broadcasting. And at that time, people, the audience of the radio in the United States, have a strongly, impact of the reality or the sense of liveness. And during this 1 century or more than that, the information technology, which supported to the printing technology or supported to the radio broadcasting, all these kind of media technologies are related to the warfares very much. So the warfares and the media technology or information technology has a relationship like the conspiracy or so we have to situate the Iraqi war's situation in this historical genealogies.
So using of informational media in the war is not new thing.
Not new thing.
Right. So is there any different points in the Iraqi war?
Yeah, that's a point. I think that in this war time, I think that you remember that the information infrastructure which was trumped in the Clinton administration, that was developed to the global information infrastructure during 90s and the early 21st century. And I think that in some sense, in this war, we observed that the accomplishment of global information infrastructure, and it means that all the matters, including journalism, TV reporting, and command and control warfare, all the things are on the global information infrastructure. And before this war, even in the Gulf War, the media people had their own technology, which apart from the governmental or military controlled information technologies. But in this time, all the things are on the same ground. which was GII, and nearly equal to the internet and other digital technologies. So, the information infrastructures are covering all the things. This was happened historically first time in this Iraqi war.
Right. And I heard that you're interested in the fact that the information infrastructure in the world was all made in United States.
Ah, that's right. And there are several alternatives to the internet for covering the global society. But in the late 80s or early 90s, as a result, the internet has a hegemony. They occupy the main market of international computer networks.
Right.
So from that time, as I mentioned before, the Clinton administration, diffused strongly the information technology of internet to the worldwide society, and that also the international political strategy, I think. And Mr. Joseph Nye, who is a very VIP person in the Clinton administration, trumpeted that this is a umbrella of not the atomic bomb, but the umbrella of information. And today we can find that the umbrella of information was accomplished, and we are still under that umbrella.
Right.
It's very paradoxical and this, problematic matter, I think.
Right. And as you mentioned, information technology is widespread in the world, and not only in the world, as well as even civilian levels, like the computer games.
Yes, and the mobile phone.
Right.
Yeah.
And I heard there's a word like information war, IW or EED. So is there any influence to the younger generation?
Yes, one thing is that the information war or electronic bombing is not the TV game matter, and this is a real matter.
Right.
And for example, the electronic bombing is not the bombing on the screen, but bombing really to the real ground. But the operation was electronically things. So we not only the use, but we have to think about carefully that information or electronic, these words are not a virtual matter, but very real matter, and sometimes cause the splash of blood or killing or dying of people. So yeah.
Right. So media also have to be careful about that.
That's right.
Finally, how does the strategy for high information technology develop in the future?
Well, it's a very difficult question. One thing is that the very hegemonic state of United States in the information infrastructure will go on for at least this 10 years or so, and EU region or Asian region have to belonging to the umbrella of information. It means the internet infrastructure, and the situation is not so easily changed in near future. But at the same time, as an audience or as a citizen, we have to, go, I think, the following two ways. One is developing our own media literacy to the reporting and journalism. And media literacy is a ability of critical reading, critical viewing the media, and positively expression our own, emotion or opinions. This kind of ability, and we have to develop in the school or in the social sectors voluntarily this kind of ability. This is one thing. And the other thing is that there are many global NGO or non-profit organizations which supported the Iraqi people or Afghanistan people, even in Japan. And So there are many, independent journalists in the Iraq and reported via the internet. Or there are, for example, I have a friend who, promoting the dialogue project between Japanese high school student and the Iraqi high school student to talk about their ordinary matter, not the special matter. And this kind of connection via internet made a sympathetic feeling internationally. And this kind of sympathy is very important in the high-tech media environment, because we need some reality or friendship in the international community.
Right, internet, to all over the world, so it's easy to communicate.
That's right. So internet is an American technology. We have to belong to that environment. This is a paradox, but we can use this technology positively to open the door to Iraqi or other world and make a sympathetic community in the cyberspace.
The using of the high technology, there is a huge gap between developed country and a developing country.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can do?
Well, I think that today's digital information technology is a double-edged sword. And in one side, it's a very big technology. But in other side, it's very small and the ordinary technology like the mobile phone and the small digital camera. And of course, there are not developed country in the world, but we can use it very easily. So if we get some kind of media literacy, technical literacy, we can communicate very easily. And the other thing is that we do not have to depend on fully to the digital information technology. Sometimes we need the paper letters or real voice.
Sure.
And we have to mix up these very analog or bodily sensed media and the digital high-tech media.
Mr. Mizukoshi, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That was Associate Professor Shin Mizukoshi of the University of Tokyo, interviewed by Mihoko Hon.